Purple Angel Ambassadors started in Torbay with the Dementia Action Alliance. There was a gentleman there called Norman McNamara who has actually been diagnosed with dementia, Lewy bodies, Alzheimer's. He started the Dementia Alliance on the 12th of January in 2012, and exactly 1 year later, in January 2013, he founded the Purple Angels. He actually received this message from the Prime Minister, which was with wording, "I want to see your successes replicated across the country so that together we can transform the lives of people with dementia." And the Prime Minister was so interested because 400 local businesses, retailers and service providers and community groups in Torbay had signed up to his Torbay Dementia Action Alliance. So he decided then that he wanted it more worldwide. He had actually been diagnosed in 2008 at the age of 50. So he was fully aware of his mental and physical deterioration, which affects him slowly, but it is relentless month by month. So he decided that after writing blogs, books and poetry and trying to live with the dementia every day, that he was passionate about raising awareness within the medical and the caring professions, as well as people from all walks of life. So Norman decided that he was going to get some Purple Angels, and he had 50 Purple Angels on the 16th of November in Torquay, where people from all walks of life, people who worked in the medical profession, solicitors, people like myself, I'm an activity coordinator in a home in Shepperton called the Bradbury Centre. We deal with people who have dementia and try to stimulate and make their lives better. So it was people from all walks of life, carers, people who'd got families who'd got dementia. They were all out for the same thing, to try and raise awareness. So with raising awareness, especially locally, it's going to make it very much easier for the people who have early onset dementia to live in the community and be treated with respect, because to live as much as possible in the way they've always lived. As the dementia takes hold of them, they really need to have understanding and mostly respect. So this is how it started out.
Okay, and you are one of those Purple Angel ambassadors,
yes,
going out to businesses to sort of try and make them more aware. Just tell me a bit more about that.
I actually got my inauguration and my Purple Angel Award from Norm. I then had some leaflets which have got 7 awareness pointers on them. They start with money handling, confusion and staring, spatial awareness, speech, repetitiveness, checkouts and talking about dementia. So with these forms, I then visited in Shepperton the local shops, which can even be the MOT station where I got my car MOT'd, the vets, the nail bar, the bookshop, the hardware shop, and various shops along the high street, plus the chemist. And I go in and I ask them to read this and give it to their staff, so that if they have staff who work for them, they can read it, take it on board, and then I go back and I give them the Purple Angel sticker to put in their window. That in turn helps anybody who has got dementia to see that they in that shop have had training and know how to treat people with dementia. So it's a two-way thing, really.
Okay, and businesses listening to this, if they want to get involved, what should they do?
They can get in touch with me, or they can get in touch with the Purple Angel. We have a site on Facebook, or we actually have a site where they can just go through to Purple Angels and they can speak to them, because we are still hoping to enrol more Purple Angel ambassadors all over England. As I said, at the moment, there's me in Shepperton, and I think the nearest Purple Angel to me is Reading. They do vary where they are. As I say, they're Australia, Nepal, India, New Zealand. New Zealand was our 50th ambassador, the lady who enrolled there. So they're all over the world, but we really want them all over the country as much as possible, so that these people who are living in the communities can be treated with a bit more respect, and there's not the stigma attached to dementia that there has been, because there's definitely been a stigma attached to dementia.
Do you still think that that's as bad now as it was, say, 5 or 10 years ago?
No, I think actually it's getting better. It could get even better still, because most people know somebody who has got dementia, and anyone who knows somebody who's got dementia will understand what happens with them. They don't always know everything, and this is why sometimes even this training can help people who live with people with dementia. But they also have a helpline that they can get hold of people and talk to them and understand it fully, especially if it's a family member. My mother had Alzheimer's, so I actually can have a rapport with people who actually have got family members with dementia, and I can help them understand a bit more, I hope. If not, there's professionals who can.
Do you mind talking a bit more about your mother? Because obviously that must have been a very difficult time for you, and it is for many families when a loved one is suffering.
Yes, well, it was very difficult. There was my sister and myself, and my mother started getting forgetful. We all forget names, so that's quite normal, but she was forgetting to turn the gas off, so we went and got her an electric cooker. Then, we walked in to find that she was boiling a piece of chicken in some milk, as if she was boiling an egg, and she'd forgotten about it, so it burnt. And then she went missing one morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. A neighbour heard her door go, and luckily they were able to get hold of us and say, "I've rung your mother's doorbell, she's not around." And she'd gone out to get biscuits because it was dark, and she'd looked at the clock. She thought it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, being a winter, and she'd gone out to get biscuits, and she was found down by the River Mole. That is very scary. It's scary for her. It was scary for my sister and for myself. And what my mother went through in the confusion must have been absolutely horrific for her. But we did find her. But this is why Norman McNamara is raising money to buy GPSs. He's raised money for 50, and the Military Wives concert that he just did last Saturday was also to raise more money for GPSs. Now, if my mother had had one of those and she could have been traced, she wouldn't have been out as long as what she was. She was missing for about 2 to 3 hours, and that is scary. And she went missing 3 times. She was found down by the A3 at one time, again, trying to buy biscuits, because she wanted to have some biscuits in the house when the family arrived. And at that time, she was actually in a nursing home, but she was able to get out the door and went wandering. So the way her illness went, it went from bad to even worse, till in the end she didn't know us, which is, again, very, very upsetting. But she still had that smile. She was still our mum, but you couldn't communicate with her, and she got worse until eventually she passed away. So it was a very, very sad time for us. But in another way, we were quite relieved that she didn't go through too much of a horrific time with her illness, because I know sometimes that, you can actually die in a lot of pain, and my mother died very peacefully. She was a very quiet woman, very shy woman, and very sweet woman, and we still miss her to this day. But she wasn't the mother we knew when she died, because she didn't know us, and it just changed her completely. It just set away at her, and dementia is a very, very lonely and debilitating disease.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And if we can just go back to the campaign finally, if people want to find out more and get involved, just recap for us, Jean, and let us know what people should do.
Purple Angels is www.purpleangels.org.